Hello, and welcome back to Daily English. Today, we're going to talk about something that quietly controls many people's lives. Something invisible, something powerful, something exhausting. Overthinking. And if you're learning English, overthinking becomes even more dangerous. Because overthinking does not only steal your peace, it steals your voice. It steals your confidence. It steals your progress. Maybe you know this feeling. You want to speak English. You know the grammar. But when the moment comes, your mind freezes, and suddenly, everything disappears. Your heart beats faster. Your hands feel cold. And your mind starts asking questions. What if they laugh? What if I forget? What if my pronunciation sounds strange? You stay silent. Today, we are going to break that silence. Not only to improve your English, but to improve your thinking. Because fluency starts in the mind before it reaches the mouth. And this lesson will help you with both. If you truly want to speak English confidently, subscribe now, like this video, and comment below. I will stop overthinking. Write it. Make it real. Because today is the day things change. Let me tell you a story. A young man named Daniel lived in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Daniel was 24 years old. He worked at a coffee shop. Every day, tourists came from many countries: America, Canada, Australia, England, and many of them spoke English. Daniel understood basic English. He had studied for 6 years. He watched movies. He listened to podcasts. He read books. But he never spoke. Never. Not because he could not, but because he was afraid. One day, an American customer walked into the cafe. A tall woman wearing a blue jacket. She smiled and asked, "Hi, could I get a cappuccino and a ham sandwich?" Daniel understood everything, every word, but his mind panicked. Cappuccino. Easy. Ham sandwich. Easy. But then his brain attacked him. What if I say it wrong? What if she asks another question? What if I don't understand? He became nervous. And instead of answering in English, he pointed at the menu. The woman repeated slowly. Daniel nodded, still silent. After she left, Daniel felt terrible. Not because he failed, but because he knew he could have spoken. That night, he sat in his room and asked himself, why am I like this? This is where many English learners are. Not beginners, not weak, not incapable, just trapped. Trapped by thinking. And maybe that is you. But listen carefully. Overthinking is not intelligence. Many people believe overthinking means they are careful, smart, prepared. But that is not true. Real intelligence acts. Overthinking delays. Imagine this. You are standing at the edge of a swimming pool. You want to jump, but you keep thinking. Is the water cold? What if I sink? What if people watch me? What if I look stupid? Meanwhile, someone else jumps, and they're already enjoying the water. That is language learning. The longer you wait, the harder it feels. The first truth you must understand is this. Your brain wants safety, not growth. Safety. Your brain loves what is familiar, and English feels unfamiliar. So your brain creates fear. Not because English is dangerous, but because it is new. This is important. Fear does not always mean danger. Sometimes fear means growth. Remember that. Let me give you an example. Imagine a woman named Amina from Nairobi. The interview would be in English. For 2 weeks, she prepared. She practiced answers. She memorized vocabulary. She studied grammar. But the night before the interview, her mind became wild. What if I forget everything? What if they ask difficult questions? What if my accent sounds bad? She barely slept. The next day, during the interview, the manager asked, "Can you tell us about yourself?" The easiest question. But her mind went blank. Why? Not because she didn't know. Because anxiety blocked access. This happens in English all the time. And here is a powerful fluency tip. Fluency is not about how much you know. It is about how quickly you can access what you know. This is advanced. Many learners focus only on collecting vocabulary, more words, more grammar, more books, but they never train retrieval. Retrieval means pulling language out quickly. This is how native speakers speak. Not perfectly, quickly, naturally, automatically. To improve retrieval, do this. Take one simple sentence. For example, I need to buy groceries. Now change it fast. I need to buy clothes. I need to buy medicine. I need to buy a new phone. This trains your brain for speed, not perfection. Speed. And speed builds fluency. Now, let's go deeper. Why do people overthink so much? There are 3 main reasons. First, fear of judgment. This is huge. People are not afraid of English. They are afraid of embarrassment. A student named Hiro in Tokyo once told his teacher, "I am not afraid to speak English. I am afraid to sound stupid." That sentence changed everything. Because the real problem was not language. It was identity. He wanted to protect his image. But fluency requires vulnerability. You must be willing to sound imperfect. Second reason, perfectionism. This kills progress. Some learners think, I will speak when my grammar is perfect. But grammar will never be perfect. Not even for native speakers. Perfection is a moving target. It keeps moving. And you keep chasing. But never arriving. Third reason, comparison. Social media makes this worse. You watch someone speaking perfect English online, and you think, why am I not like that? But you don't see their journey, only their result. Comparison creates pressure. Pressure creates overthinking. Overthinking creates silence. And silence kills growth. So, what is the solution? Simple. Speak badly. Yes, badly. At first. Because bad speaking is the road to good speaking. A baby does not wait for perfect pronunciation. A baby speaks, makes mistakes, learns, improves. That is natural learning. You must return to that mindset. Here is another advanced fluency tip. Use emotional memory. This is powerful. The brain remembers emotion better than information. For example, instead of memorizing the word furious, connect it to a memory. Maybe the day someone broke your phone. That feeling, that anger. Now the word becomes alive. Not just vocabulary, emotion. And emotional vocabulary stays longer. Try this with new words. Excited, nervous, relieved, embarrassed, disappointed. Attach each word to a memory. This creates deeper retention. Now, let me ask you something. How many times have you replayed conversations in your head? Maybe someone spoke to you in English, and later you thought, oh, I should have said this. This is called delayed fluency. Very common. Your English appears later, not in the moment. Why? Because pressure blocks processing. Here is how to fix it. Yes. Simulate stress. Set a timer. Answer questions quickly. 30 seconds only. No stopping. No editing. No correcting. This builds real speaking muscles. Because real conversations are fast. They do not wait. English is not an exam. It is movement. Flow. And you must train for that. Daniel, the man from Brazil, started doing this. Every morning. 5 minutes. Timer. Random questions. What did you eat yesterday? What is your dream job? Describe your hometown. At first, terrible. Long pauses. Mistakes. Confusion. But after 3 months, something changed. His brain stopped panicking because it became familiar. And familiar things feel safe. That is how confidence grows. Not for motivation. Remember this. Confidence is evidence. You build it. One action at a time. Not one thought at a time. That is where many people fail. They think about confidence, but never build it. Thinking does not build. Doing builds. Midway through this lesson, I want to ask you something. If this is helping you, hit like and comment. What makes you overthink the most in English? Grammar? Vocabulary? Pronunciation? Fear? Tell me. Now, let's continue. One of the biggest hidden problems in English learning is mental translation. This is advanced. Most learners hear English, translate it into their native language, think, build a response, translate back, then speak. This takes too long. To become fluent, you must reduce translation. Use image thinking. For example, when you hear apple, see an apple, not the word in your language. When you hear run, see movement. This trains direct connection, not English to translation. This is how fluency speeds up. Native speakers do this automatically. You can train it too. Another powerful tip: narrate your life quietly. During the day, I'm opening the door. I'm making coffee. I'm checking my phone. I'm walking to work. This builds automatic language. Without pressure, without fear, without an audience. It builds fluency in silence. And then fluency appears in public. This is one of the best hidden techniques. Many advanced speakers use it, but few talk about it. Now, let's return to Daniel. 3 months later, another tourist entered the cafe. This time, a man from Canada. He smiled. "Hey, what do you recommend here?" Daniel felt fear again, but something was different. He did not run. He did not hide. He answered, "Our caramel latte is very popular." Simple, not perfect, but real. The tourist smiled. "I'll take it." That moment changed Daniel, because he realized something. The world did not end. Nobody laughed. Nothing bad happened. That one sentence broke years of fear. And maybe your first sentence will do the same for you. Your life can change with one brave moment. Not tomorrow. Today. This is just the beginning.